first frog spirit we're dealing with is the dragon. Revelation 12 and Revelation 20 tells us that it's none else than the serpent that was from the beginning. He's also Satan and the devil. Now, this is the first thing we ever learn about is the devil. The devil made you do this and the devil made you do that. Well, we need to make up our minds. Did Jesus deal with Satan? Why are we so preoccupied with Satan? Why are we more aware of what he has done and what he is doing than what Jesus has done and did for us? Now, the Bible clearly says that he came to abolish the work of Satan. 1 John 3:8 says, "For this purpose the Son of God was manifest, that he might destroy the works of the evil one." So did Jesus destroy his work, or did Jesus not do his job? As Jesus stepped on the scene, Satan came tempting him, and he said, "Get behind me, Satan." And he was rendered powerless. For a perfect period, or 1,000 years, he was bound, and he could not function. 1,000 is not 1,000. It means perfection. So Satan was bound for a perfect time until a more opportune season. And Revelation 20 tells us that this 1,000 years ended with the first resurrection. Blessed are those who have part in the first resurrection, because the second death have no part in him. The second death is the eternal lake of fire. Jesus' resurrection marked the end of death as the end. And if you die in Christ, Revelation tells us that blessed are you if you die in Christ, because you rest from your labor and your work will follow you. Jesus dealt with Satan and death, and Revelation declares, it is done. The kingdom is now open and ready to be possessed. We are not fighting Satan. The confusion comes in with time, and we need to understand that the Bible is very clear about the progression of Satan. The first time we read about him was in the garden. He was more subtle than all the beasts of the field that God has created. Now, beast is a created being, and Satan was a created being, but he had a seat amongst the sons. In Job, the sons were coming together, and Satan came in amongst them, and God said, "Where do you come from?" And he was roaming around the world trying to find reasons to accuse God's people. And we know what happened to Job, but Job's end was double rewarded restoration. In Revelation 12, this dragon, Satan, the accuser, devil, the serpent, was cast out of heaven. And it says, "Woe unto the earth, but he has a short time." He was a roaring lion to the infant church. This was his final shot at trying to destroy the seed of life. But he even failed in this, because Jesus appeared as the Son of Man with the clouds of heaven to finish what he started on the cross. And Revelation, we find the judgment of the world, which is also the judgment of the wicked generation, as well as the three frog spirits, the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. And Satan was cast into the eternal lake of fire, which is the second death. This was also the judgment where everyone that came from death and hell, which was the shadow of death before the cross, was judged. We are not dealing with Satan. We are dealing with our unrenewed minds that is bombarded with darkness. We are not to listen to voices. We are to hear what the Spirit says.